Yes.
Start recording?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then. That works just fine. We were just talking about Zane's cat Sona, so...
I don't have one, though.
You said you used to do Warriors roleplay and still do.
I don't do it anymore, but, like... Cat Sona sounds like Fursona, so can you please not?
You have a Fursona?
If it's an actual cat, I don't think it's the same thing.
So I know people with Fursonas.
Fursonas are just...
It's just yourself as a furry. Literally what it is.
Okay. Anyone out there who's a furry, I apologize. I can't find how y'all find that interesting.
I could say a lot of things about some of your interests the same way.
Yes, you could. I'm just apologizing.
You have literally no room to judge.
I'm not judging. I'm just apologizing right now. So if I say something later on, I don't mean to be offensive. Like, I remember that talk I told you when I have that open mouth insert foot syndrome?
Yeah.
I want to apologize in general.
Anyway, what's up? It's me, Llytic, actual troll Sona.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get into the meta. It's Tom. I'm me, I guess. I don't know.
And I'm a cat now, I guess.
Meow. Or knowing Zane. Nya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, meow, yeah. Meow. Alright, the rest of this reading is going to be me just making cat noises.
God.
Well, it'd still be better than what we're reading.
Alright, yeah. I'm just going to start us off. This is my inner life.
Oh, boy.
The night passed quickly, and the sun's first rays were rising over the horizon as I saddled my horse and making my final preparations for my departure with Link and Dalamar. After we all make the final preparations, Link and I mounted each other, our horses, and ready to depart. Dalamar emerged from the castle and joined us at the front gate as we mounted each other. I checked one last time to make sure my bow quivered chakrams were secure before turning my attention to the to the griffin. Dalamar looked at us sternly, his wings flexing against the gentle blowing breeze. Are you ready, my friends? Dalamar questioned. Ready as ever, Link returned as he eagerly waited to leave. Then I nodded. Who's speaking here?
I've given up.
So I guess it's Dalamar speak. Well then, let us get moving. We should try to reach the Black Mountain before sundown, you fuck. I have been recording all day.
Yes.
My mind is fried.
Yes, I think all of us are kind of...
I spent several hours in front of this fucking computer recording already.
I've got about, in the past 2 days, maybe 7 hours of sleep combined. Maybe, so I know how you feel, man.
I started the recording sometime around, I want to say 10 this morning.
I feel great.
Good for you.
It's at least 5 hours straight.
I'm actually glad for you, Zane. I'm glad you don't...
We all know I get sick while reading this, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Turning my horse around, I started to follow behind Link when Zelda called to us. Please be careful. Or wait, is this Zelda speaking?
Zelda.
Okay. Please be careful. May the goddesses protect you on your journey and provide your safe return. What? What am I saying? That sounded...
You turned into Hamir.
I don't... Somebody shoot me. We looked back at Zelda.
I almost convinced them to put them into my nipples. Can you imagine that? Hamir of the Bifrost teats. Actual line. I fucking
we looked back. What game is that?
God of War, the latest God of War.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. No, I forgot for a sec. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hamir of the Bifrost teats.
We looked back at Zelda one last time before moving out. Thank you, milady. I appreciate all that you've done for me. Thank you, milady. I appreciate all you've done. Where are my accents today?
Why are you just turning like...
I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm running on 7 hours of sleep combined in the past 2 days. So I'm just all right, how's it go? Title.
I was about to make a joke about Dalamar being a nice guy, and then all of a sudden that shit happened.
Thank you, my lady. I appreciate all that you've done. All you've done for me. Dalamar said, his gaze soft. His gaze soft upon hers. Don't worry about Link and I. We'll be fine. I'm sure we will return safely. Please take good care of our son. Do not worry. He will be cooking just fine.
What is it with you and trying to make Zelda cannibalize the child?
No, we're feeding him to the tree, remember?
Yeah,
or were
the
they
child
trying
was
to
supposed
get the
to sacrifice
child's
to the
power?
I think it was cannibalism last time. I don't know how that happened. It just happened.
Because you suddenly decided she needed to eat the child.
I mean,
this is all your fault, and it makes no sense.
Does that make any less sense than the rest of the story? Like, seriously.
It'd still be better if we were just sacrificing the child instead of Russian Zelda eating him.
Look, it's either this or we go back to the ceremony where they pee in the cups. Which do you prefer?
Pissing on their graves.
I like the sacrificial thing just because it's funny.
Alright, it's my turn though?
No, I'm not quite.
No, he's stalling.
Yeah. As
Smile
ready
of
as
reassurance.
Okay. All right. I added as a smile of reassurance across my face. Sorry, I lost my place on the page. Now, my friends, we must move on. Time is now, my friend.
Stop trying.
Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to do accents because that's not working for me today. Now, my friends, we must move on. Time is of the essence, Dalamar retorted. Nodding in agreement, I resumed following behind Link, leaving the sanctuary of Hyrule behind.
Fucking like slam an entire pot of coffee or some shit. Jesus.
That's the thing. I have down like nearly half a gallon of caffeine today, and it's not doing anything.
The sun was high up and the heat treacherous as we made our way across the vast black desert online.
Racist.
It's only racist if you make it so.
We've been traveling
Show.
Okay.
for about 4 hours, and I was already tired from sitting in my saddle. Damn, sitting on a horse is tiring.
Put back the mic away from your mouth.
Riding is actually pretty tiring.
Beating my Swiss as my parched mouth cried for water. I reached into my saddlebag and pulled out my water skin, raising it to my dried lips. I took a long gulp before replacing the cap and returning it to my saddlebag, just tossing the other top onto the ground. Ugh, jeez. It's the first paragraph.
Are you
it's
like
already hitting me? Oh boy.
Is your mic in your mouth right now?
What?
Is your mic in your mouth right now? Because I can hear every breath.
You see, it's either I put my mic right here and you can hear me, or I put it over here and you can barely hear me.
Can't you like adjust it somewhat? Like find a
gosh.
halfway point?
I think there are settings like input or output. I don't know which one.
Yeah, like just volume or something.
One moment, please.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright, how's this?
Turn it up a bit.
Turn it up a bit.
Turn it up.
Let's see. How about there?
Okay, that's better.
Oh boy. I lost my place now.
Returning it to the saddlebags.
Okay.
Repeat.
Placing
Unbearable.
the cap and returning it to my saddlebags. The heat was so unbearable that it was causing shapes of false objects to form in the desert sand. Everything looked like Link's dick again.
God damn it!
Even the heat wave that the desert was producing caused the image of Link and Dalamar to look distant and warped. Though as we pressed on, pushing our very horses to the limit, their mouths gaped open, their tongues dry from the hot desert air. The minutes that we spent in the damn desert seemed like hours, and finally a miracle by the goddess loomed up just ahead. After what seemed to be an endless push through the treacherous desert, we finally came to an end and emerged near the vast rushing river.
I am no longer AFK. What did I miss?
more breathing out of my mouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's mostly just listening to Zane mouth breathe. Breathe. Fuck.
It's much better.
Great, it's just like those phone calls I receive at night.
Oh, you get those too?
Occasionally, you also sometimes just hear... Anyway.
Well,
18!
that hasn't happened to me
This is the
before,
Snake
but
River.
then again, I usually block those numbers.
Yo, this is the Snake River, Dalamar said as his crystal eyes scanned the bank on the other side. The river is too fast and deep to cross on foot. We'll have to build a large raft Build a raft large enough to ferry the horses on. Scanning the area surrounding the river, I noticed a large thicket of trees just upriver. There's a large amount of foliage just a short way upriver. We can use those trees to build a raft. Walking beside me, Dalamar scanned the way ahead. I see no signs of danger up that way, so let's get a move on.
The repetition is just terrible in this.
Insipid.
We pressed on upriver and into the thick foliage. There it goes again. There we proceeded to make a makeshift raft, using vines found among the trees to hold it together. After we pushed it down to the bank, we loaded on the horses, then Link and I went on, followed by Dalamar.
Taking a long pole made of wood, Link steered us along against the river's swift current, taking heed to watch for rocks lying in wait under the river's white caps. Slowly but surely we made our way across onto the other side. From there we mounted and headed for Dragon Mount.
Oh, Jesus.
The
sky was setting off tones of deep pink and lavender, the sun starting to set as we neared Dragon Mount. I watched in awe as the dragon-shaped mountain, gee, I wonder how it got its name, appeared in the distance. Just then, Dalamar turned and looked back at us. We must make haste. The sun is already starting to set. This is a bad area to be in after nightfall. We must press on at a faster pace, you dig? Jeez. Haste. We must make haste. God damn it. Dalamar said with worry. But Dalamar, the horses, I started to say. The horses what? Dalamar cut in. They need rest. Look at them. They're exhausted. Be more consistent with who's talking.
Apparently Link is talking in the last sentence, I believe.
I'll have to agree with my wife, Dalamar. The horses haven't had any rest since we left Hyrule, Link added.
Fun fact, there's actually a Snake River in Idaho. The only I should have brought it up earlier, yes, but I just remembered that. The only problem is Ariakas's knights patrol this area at night. If we don't press on past Dragon Mount, we might be found by the 19 Dark Knights, and trust me, you don't want to get captured by them. They have been known to be ruthless and even as far as to kill in blood for glory. Oh, really? I still don't see the terrible part about them, like, usually. I mean...
We might be rereading a bit.
Oh. Oh, well. Blood for the blood god and all that. Dalamar said shakily.
That we can't tell.
His eye glaring over at us. I thought worse than that. How can these dark nights amount up to what Ganondorf was? Okay, yeah, this is starting to sound familiar.
Oh, God. How do you say something stoutly?
Very carefully.
You crouch down and flex? I don't know.
He's just like legs spread, body as low as possible, flexing. How can these dark nights amount up to what Ganondorf was?
Link said stoutly as he shifted in his saddle. Oh boy, here's Dalamar again. I'm not going to try the accent because, well, we've seen how that is with me. At least tonight.
Reason you barely talk. You just took like a 5-minute hiatus after reading one line.
Yeah, no, I had to turn the thermostats down. So, listen, hero, you don't understand these Dark Knights like I do. My people have been fighting them for centuries, and trust me, they're more ruthless than you think they are. Okay, if there's such a problem, why hasn't the King of Hyrule heard of them before?
I don't know. They're not in his kingdom, not his problem.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Hey, shit ain't my problem.
It's a very medieval mindset to look at. And that's
Right.
how the Vikings became a huge problem.
It's not my problem. The town said as they watched the town literally 20 feet away from them getting raided.
Yep, pretty much.
Alright, is it my turn now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just then I spotted something up ahead. By the goddesses, what the hell is that up there? I said as I
wanna
pointed my
fuck it.
finger skyward. Dalamar raised his head up and cried out, Draconians, we must get the hell out of here before we're spotted! Dalamar screeched, revealing our position to them. Taking a full throttle, beating my horse in the legs, the animal took off at full speed behind Link. We pushed up on at a full gallop, winding around small boulders lining the dirt. I lowered my head till my chin was against the horse's tattered mane. The wind whipped the horse's mane against my face as we rode.
Try not to vomit.
Dragonmount slowly loomed over us as we came closer. Eerie tendrils of black smoke swirled around it, making it look like an evil creature waiting to attack. Oh boy. Hurry. Hurry, we must reach the safety of Dragonmount! Dalamar cried again, his voice warped over the howling wind. We rode hard and fast, the hoofs of our galloping horses kicked up dust and dirt behind them as the shadows of the overhead creatures threatened to close in on us. The eerie screeching of the massive dragons rang through my ears as they came closer. The beating of their massive leather wings stirred up dust clouds around us.
I
Pretty
shit
sure
Only
you
Dragon-
Dalamar had screeched our position out.
I'm pretty sure that dragons don't scream, but whatever.
Spins on the dragon.
Yeah, true.
Oh god.
Just imagine like a dragon going, ah!
I don't think
with
it's
the
that
human
kind of
voice.
scream. I think it's probably something similar to how the T-Rex roar was described in the Jurassic Park book.
Yeah,
It was
and
described as an unearthly scream.
Here, I'll give you a screaming dragon.
yeah, I'm a little afraid to click on this, but whatever.
Oh my
yes,
god!
this meme.
Oh,
You know, this is an actual song, and it's great.
But there you go. Dragons do scream.
I'm gonna show you my favorite of that one.
oh Jesus.
Not as bad as you think.
Not gonna lie, at one point I had a sound in a story described as a fax machine fucking a chalkboard.
A what
Oh
scream?
my.
A fax machine fucking a chalkboard.
Okay then.
Just this awful, high-pitched, ear-rending noise. I looked up and saw that they were closing in on us. God damn it, Dalamar. The dragon's huge black talons were outstretched, its angry yellow eyes piercing deep into mine. It pierced your eyes with its eyes? It has projectile eyes.
Spiky eyes. Yay.
Dalamar, we've been spotted. They're
shooting
closing in
eyeballs
on
at
us
them?
and launching eyes. I cried over
No,
the
their
howling
eyes are just
wind,
like
my
really
eyes
big
wide
marbles,
with
and they're gonna
fear.
trip the dragons. Or the other horses.
That's great.
No hurry, we're almost there, Dalamar screeched. We must reach Dragonmount before they do. I booted my horse again, forcing her to go as fast as possible. Her eyes wide with fear as the death screeches of the dragons came closer. Dragonmount was just ahead, just a few feet further. We came upon it. The black swells of smoke rose around us as we moved to the base of the gigantic rock formation. Pulling my horse to a skidding stop, I accidentally went over a cliff. I dismounted and moved alongside Link and Dalamar while guiding my horse by the reins. Oh, God damn it.
I mean, that's how you usually guide
another
horses, right?
screaming cowboy meme. God damn it.
But this one's the best one.
it's the same meme, but with Godzilla.
Yep, it's great. There's a cave just big enough just on the other side. We must hurry and take sanctuary inside it before the Draconians come for us. Dalamar urged, his crystal blue eyes watching the black skies above. We slowly make our way around the small mountain under the cover of the thick smoke that wrapped around it, its eeriness causing shivers to run down my spine. We listened as the dead silence was broken by the cries of dragons as they landed just meters from where we were hiding, causing the horses to buck and neigh, their eyes wide with fear. Keep those horses quiet. The dragons will hear them, Dalamar growled. Yeah, you have no room to talk, Dalamar. You literally just gave away your position.
Me
not
yelling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least he's growling in this one, but even so. Link and I quieted our horses with a few pats of the neck and words of reassurance. The dragon's evil yellow eyes pierced the darkness as their nostrils flared and searching for us. The structure of this is just bad. We just remained quiet, moving ever so slightly as we made our way to the other side. Just then Dalamar caught sight of what type of dragons were hunting us. Oh, by the goddesses, those are blue dragons, the most dangerous of all dragons. Pretty sure those are actually red ones, but whatever. Their eyes can see the slightest movements as they can smell almost anything.
I'd be more worried about those acid-spitting dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly even bronze.
Yeah, those are pretty dangerous too. Dragons in general are just dangerous. There's not one most dangerous dragon.
This one shouts lightning.
Yeah. We must remain cautious. They're searching for us, and if we move too fast, they'll spot us for sure. Their vision is based on movement. Don't move a muscle.
God.
Dalamar whispered as he forced his back up against the smooth surface of Dragon Mount. As we moved, I watched as the two dragons' piercing yellow eyes scanned the base of the mountain for us. Their jaws gapped open, exposing their long fangs against the blackness. Okay, I don't know if they're just doing this just to be difficult, but none of these there are the correct words. They're like the contractions of they and are rather than THEIR.
eyes see the slightest movement. They are sort. Okay, that one's actually right.
Well, some of them are right, but others are just
exposing
not.
they are long fangs against the blackness.
Oh boy.
Use magic missile against the darkness.
Just looking at those yellow eyes full of bloodlust made my body quiver in fear. As they are long fangs looked as if they could tear a man in half. Then I noticed something move against the back of one of the dragons. As I narrowed my eyes, I was able to make out a figure in black armor, lined with skulls of death. Are there skulls of life or something?
I think I have a few skulls of life hidden around somewhere.
I know that's an item that you can get in some D&D campaigns, but that's about it.
This is a D&D.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm
remember
confused.
where I put them, but I have them somewhere.
Its helm shaped like a skull. His armor is lined with skulls of death, with a helmet shaped like a skull, with horns as a dark blue cape whipped widely around the figure's shoulders. Also, it was shaped like a skull. In the figure's hand was a long sword, with an emblem of a 20 black skull lily at the base of the skull blade. Its deadly surface reflected against the dim light of the moon. Oh no, by the goddesses! Those must be the dark knights Dalamar told us about, I whispered to myself, eyeing the dark figure on the dragon's back. If they're as deadly as Dalamar says, we must escape at all cost. Oh, I can't even.
Or just use your broken OP powers and kill them. I mean, that's also a possibility.
You have to remember, though, she's an idiot.
True.
I pushed up closer against Link. I could feel his boner from the danger.
Oh God, fear boner.
And squeezed it tightly. Don't worry, my love. We'll be all right. Link assured soothingly, his hand squeezing mine back. We won't be. We won't be if we don't hurry. The cave's just up ahead, Dalamar retorted quietly.
Why did he turn into a Georgia Peach?
Smoke. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
I'm rolling with it.
Now y'all listen here, sweetie. Oh God. Okay. So
It's your line.
just before we made it to the cave entrance. Just before we made it to the cave entrance, one of the dragons stepped out just a few feet from it. Not sure how it was hidden, but okay. Its yellow eyes staring directly in the direction we were hiding. Where we were hiding. Its nostrils flared as it sniffed the air, because, that's what nostrils do. Its mouth gaped wide. Almost made a joke there. Thick saliva dripping from its fangs. Oh no, by the fires of hell, I think they're onto us. Dalamar cursed, the color draining from his eyes.
I just imagine his blue eyes just bleeding this blue color and just pooling on the
Feeling
floor.
okay there, Dalamar?
Is that normal for griffins to lose color in their eyes?
Normal for griffins to bleed color? It must smell the horses. Horse meat is a dragon's favorite food. Then what world? Yeah, I mean
dragons are probably the only things around their size.
Horses don't even taste that good. Then what the hell are you? Do you suppose we're do? Link growled, his face twisting into a scowl. Did Link come down with the whole Uzumaki curse? Is his face just gonna turn into a spiral?
I mean, it's possible.
Believe it.
Wrong Uzumaki. Wrong Uzumaki.
Oh, whoops.
I mean the Junji Ito one. The one where people start twisting into spirals. That one.
Don't think I've seen that one, honestly.
You should. Look it up. Read it. It's fun.
So
we have no choice but to break for it. Hopefully we can outrun them. Dalamar returned. Though the thought of running straight into the dragon's claws didn't make Dalamar rest any easier. I know. I could read his thoughts.
Hold on. There we go. I lost my place on the page again. Sorry.
Somehow, more than any other story, I feel like this one is actually making me lose brain cells right now.
Yeah, probably. Link and I mounted our horses and waited for Dalamar's signal. On my signal, take off and break left. Hopefully we can get ahead of them before they notice we've left. Now go, Dalamar cried as he took off at full throttle. Okay, braking just left of the dragon's right side. Booting my horse in the legs, the animal took off at full speed behind Link's stallion. Okay, weren't these horses exhausted? Following the same path Dalamar took. As we broke north towards the Black Mountains, I heard shouting from behind. There they go, after them! They have a damned griffin with them! We must capture it! Came some of the cries as they noticed us running away. The sound of heavy beating wings filled the air as the massive blue dragons took flight. They are cries breaking the dead silence of the night. I hunched down against the horse's neck, its ragged mane whipping against my face as we pushed to reach the sanctuary of the Black Mountains. Okay, I thought the horses had names, so stop referring to it as an it, because it has a name. Oh, wait, nope, I forgot. The only thing that matters in this book is Jenna, or its story is Jenna, so...
Also, last I checked, according to mythology, griffins were able to fight off dragons, whenever dragons would come after the gold that griffins were defending, so... Why is Dalamar getting his ass kicked here?
Because Jenna's writing.
Alright. Hurry! Push faster! They're gaining on us! Dalamar shouted. As I looked up, I saw one of the massive beasts closing in on us, its claws outstretched as it started dipping into a dive. Its mouth gaped wide. Oh my goddesses. Link, one of them is almost on top of us. I screamed as I heard a massive beating wing just overhead. Then out of nowhere, an RKO and the other blue dragon dropped down in front of us. Its mouth open. What?
I wasn't expecting the RKO.
Well, yeah, because it came out of nowhere. Its mouth opened wide as it blocked our path. The horse escaped to a halt, neighing and buckled, almost throwing Link and I off their backs. Then the other dragon landed behind us. Its heavy beating wings kicked up dust and sand around it. Holy shit, we're trapped! Dalamar cried, his eyes turning ghostly white. How? Oh, wait, no. Dragon, what kind of voice? What?
Metalocalypse voice.
I
Yes.
think I could do a Metalocalypse voice.
Nathan Explosion's voice, the death
Fine,
growl.
I'll say it for you. Where's
Nah,
the line?
nah.
Prepare
How
to
right
die, all
you
of you?
are. You
Where
will-
is it? So surrender quickly.
No. How rich you are! You will not escape the dark night or kiss, sneered one of the figures looming on the dragon in front of us. Surrender quietly and we will just might go easy on you, the other knight sneered. I watched as Link pulled out the mastered sword from his sheath and flipped them off. I will not surrender to the likes of you, Link returned angrily, pointing it directly at the knights in front of us.
With how stupid this was, I really thought it did say that he flipped them off.
That would have
Oh
been
my
hilarious and would have made this story a
That
little
would
bit
have
better.
been
Just a
so
little bit, though.
fucking cringy.
Then prepare to die, all of you, the knight sneered as he dismounted off the dragon in front of us, unsheathing his sword skull.
Let's face it, guys. Ever since my inner life was made, Legend of Zelda's was ruined. You sound like you're trying to do an impression of irate gamer, and it's god, that's bad. And I thought listening to him was bad.
I think it's just a funny voice.
Then again,
But
I could
whatever.
try to do Chill's voice for the number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Oh god. Okay. I unfastened my phoenix circles from my waist. Chakrams, fuck. And prepared for battle. I heard a clacking sound of weapons clashing behind me as I confronted the other one. Dalamar, quickly run behind a rock to my right. I will handle this one, I yelled to the griffin, my eyes resting on the knight still on Dragonback. I raised my weapons in front of me and grinned. Now, Dark Beast, come and get me. Pulling the blue closer, I watched as the Dragon Knight unsheathed his massive sword.
Oh my.
God damn it. I started thinking of like a Pornhub title for like her getting impaled by a giant sword.
Huh. Interesting.
What's that noise?
I think that was a vacuum.
Yep, that's right outside my door. I'm gonna go shut that real quick. I will be right back.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
A tornado was going off or something.
They pointed it directly at me.
I'm gonna shut that.
Okay. Then die, wench. The knight returned angrily as the blue danced closer. He did the cha-cha slide. I backed up and faced the knight head on, my weapons raised in defense. He pulled the blue even closer. How long is this advance gonna take? The breath from its gaping mouth caused me to gag. Its yellow eyes, deadly yellow eyes staring at me with bloodlust. But I held my ground and slashed out with my weapons. The phoenix circles connected, ripping a gash along the beast's left nostril. Asshole. Crimson red sputtered into the air, drenching my once pink dress.
Okay.
Who the fuck goes into the desert in pink?
Jenna, apparently, but we've already established she is not very smart at all.
It's a completely black desert too. I'm just imagining this bright spot of pink in this background of black, and then you have some spots of blue, and it all looks so shit.
Mm-hmm.
There is no rhyme or reason to any of it. The blue
There's no
roared
rhyme
in
or reason.
fury, its cry causing the blood in my ears to throb.
Just say your ears to throb. It doesn't. The dragon moved in again. Its deadly claws lashed out, catching my blood-soaked dress, ripping it. I swung again with my weapons, only to be met with a clank of a sword against them. The knight pushed his sword down against mine, the tip nearing my throat. Pulling back suddenly, I thrust my weapons forward again, the round blades connecting with the dark knight's wrist, crimson seeping out from under his gauntlet hand. He screamed in fury, his sword glaring against the moonlight as he struck it down against my chakrams again, causing a shower of sparks to rain from the air. We sparred for a few minutes before the blue lashed its tail out, ramming into my legs. causing me to go crashing into the ground. I staggered dizzily, trying to get up, only to be met by the tip of a sword in my face. I looked up and saw both blues with their riders looming over me. Link had been captured and was tied up and hung over one of the dragon's back. Okay, if that's Link, the real Link, that would not have happened. Just saying.
Well, clearly, if he were to be killed, it would have been by a flock of cuckoos.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And let's face it, these dragons are nowhere near as terrifying as cuckoos, or however the heck you say that. Cuckoos, probably, because it sounds like pluck. I
think
I
it's
don't know.
cuckoos.
Chicken people.
Not chicken people. They're just chickens that are like
the chicken demons that are in Legend of Zelda. Let's go with that.
chickens.
Yeah.
God.
Where was I? Dalamar nowhere in sight. That was supposed to be a sentence, and it failed miserably. Where's the griffin? One of the dragon riders asked. Silence. Answer me, wench, he yelled, swiping the sword across my cheek, causing small rivers of blood to seep from it. I will never tell you, you dark bastards, I sneered as I did a sudden roll and moved to the left, just before one of the dragon's mouths struck. This... You know what, never mind. I don't... It's not even worth complaining about, it's just terrible.
I ran a few meters into a nearby canyon, then backed up against the stone wall and watched as the two blues closed in on me. They are riders raising spears ready to strike. At that moment, I took the opportunity to strike. Raising my hands into the air, I proceeded to call upon the elements.
Oh no, she does.
Kamas Mu Matar,
Kama
otherwise
Sutra?
known as Giant-ass Mortar. I cried skyward as my hands began to glow a bright red. Yeah, I knew it was a fire attack. It is a mortar. Fire flaming on the tips of my fingers. With a sudden flash, the moon turned a blood red as fire shot down from the sky. It is a mortar. This really is just a mortar strike, striking down on the blues in a raging fury, causing them to scream in pain from the hellish blaze singed their scaled skin. Wow.
So I
Almost like
guess
their
they
scaled
weren't.
skin is pointless.
So I guess they're not fire-breathing dragons, being as they weren't fireproof.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, if they're blue dragons, they most likely breathe lightning.
Why didn't they breathe lightning?
Yep. Or are able to shoot lightning from their mouths. I don't know how that works.
With the distraction in place, the distraction was killing two dragons?
Yes,
You have to
because-
bury them right now. Shit.
Let's make our escape.
Distraction. I have a plan. What's your plan for the distraction? I'll kill him. How was that a distraction? I think dead being dead'll distract him pretty good.
Wait, I have a plan. What's your plan? Die. Wait, what? Just explosion.
Well, it's hopeless. We should just kill ourselves now.
Nah.
I took the opportunity again to make my final strike. Dalamar, now grab Link off that damn beast's back that I just burst into flames. She incinerated Link. Ah, shit. There goes the hero of time.
It would be a merciful fate for him.
Not merciful enough. I screamed as I held the dragon's back behind a wall of fire. With a loud cry, the snowy white griffin took flight from behind a nearby boulder and rose skyward, his wings beating heavily as he dipped in his flight and flew directly into the wall of fire, diving just above the blue's back. God. Grabbing Link in his talons, impaling him. Rising swiftly back in the air, Dalamar moved out of range, allowing me to make my final attack. I focused my mind and called upon the ancient powers of the Silver Lights that I had just learned about like 2 days ago. I focused all my energy and concentrated into one energy attack, then unleashed it, sending it down upon them in a massive explosion, thrusting the blues and their riders back into the pits of hell.
Since when do they come from hell?
Since when? Fuck.
Whatever. After the smoke cleared, I found Dalamar had crash landed about 20 meters from where the dragons once stood. I ran over to him as the griffin slowly opened his crystal blue eyes halfway. Did you do it, my friend? Nodding, tears began to well up in my eyes as I watched his falter. Dang it. Just, Dalamar, don't you dare leave me, because apparently we should care about this birdman that we just met like a few...
Even a birdman, full bird.
Full bird, like, that we just met like not half a page ago. Dalamar, don't you dare leave me, I cried as my hands grabbed down on the feathers around his neck.
Strangling
I'm fine,
the
my
life
lady,
out of
just
him.
tired. Dalamar replied, his voice raspy and stuttered. Where's Link, Dalamar? What did you do with him? I cried again, because apparently that's all that mattered. I don't really care that you're dying, I just want to know where Link is. Yanking on his white feathers. Calm down, lass. He's right here next to me on my other side. He's fine but unconscious. Dalamar whispered just before unconsciousness claimed him as well. And then he died.
I then had to carry them both to Dragon Mount.
I could do it with one on each shoulder because my Earth attunement from the Silverlights allowed me to have super strength, because why the hell not?
Honestly, the better way of doing that would just be create like a floating boulder using the Earth affinity and carry them that way.
I don't know. I'm just trying to make Jenna more of a Mary Sue, which I don't think is possible.
No, let's just time skip till after they beat this. Anyways, I had spent nearly the entire night by a small fire at the base of the canyon we had ran to. Came for Link and Dalamar as they laid there unconscious. My whole body ached, even my eyes ached from them staying open. But had to
Just
remain
realized
awake in
something.
case more. What?
Someone who is 6 months pregnant just combat rolled.
Oh, yeah.
And she's exhausting herself now.
He's going
But
to
had to remain
miscarriage.
awake in case any more dragons entered the skies above. I just sat there and poked at the fire with a stick when suddenly I heard a slight moan.
Link was jacking it behind a tree.
Looking over, I saw Link was beginning to come around. The griffin's dick inside his ass, what? I quickly got up to my feet and ran over behind him, kneeling down next to him. I looked into his half-open eyes, the slight blue glistening under the moonlight. Oh, by the goddesses, you're awake. We can finally start, I said softly as I took Link's gloved hand into mine. He slowly raised his other hand and gently placed it against my cheek. Are you... Are you okay, my beloved? He said as I actually just spit all over my screen. He said in a half whisper. I raised my other hand and rested it against his. The warmth of his smooth, fingers caressed my cheek as I rubbed my cheek against them.
Yes, I'm fine, my love. But you need some rest. You were badly beaten and have a nasty bruise on your forehead.
No,
that definitely wasn't caused. That definitely wasn't caused by a griffin landing on you. I returned lovingly, whispering softly against his gentle fingers. Where's Dalamar? Is he all right? Link said as his eyes shifted slightly. He's here, and he's fine, the little bitch. Still unconscious. Now, shh. No pain, only dreams now. Stop struggling. You need to sleep. Rest easy, my love. I will care for both of you while you sleep. Now, just let me put this pillow over your face. I whispered softly as I lowered my lips to his and kissed him gently. Shifting his head slightly, his deep blue eyes rested upon mine. Ew! As a small smile crossed his battered face. Thank you, my dearest wife. I will always love you, came his words as he closed his eyes and rested back into a deep sleep.
I don't think I can hate this more, and then we read the next paragraph. This is just ridiculous. I spent the rest of the night watching over them as I sat shuddering by the fire. I lived in fear that Ariakas would send more of his dark knights or have his draconians patrol the skies looking for us. So I did the best to keep the fire small, as well as kept a bucket of sand near in case I had to douse the fire quickly. But to my surprise, the remaining of the night was spent quiet, with no signs of Auriacus's knights or his draconians. So I sat and waited for the night to pass, and so that we could finish making our way to the Black Mountains. It was during that time that Dalamar finally awakened from unconsciousness and started resting peacefully. But he's still unconscious. That.
The sky was setting off tones of yellow and orange as the sun started rising above the horizon. I
As
slowly
suns do.
rose from my place by the now doused fire and walked over to where Link was resting and rustled him awake. I greeted him with a gentle kiss to the lips and a few short words before giving him some herbs to help him feel better. How convenient.
Read.
After I was sure he was fine, I went to wake Dalamar. Slowly the snowy griffin rose to his clawed feet, his crystal eyes glistening under the sunlight as he looked me over. I handed him some of my convenient healing herbs and proceeded to pack the blanket tolls and cooking supplies back onto the horses, who I'm surprised haven't run away yet from just how exhausted and scared they probably are. After I was finished, I faced my two companions. I think if both of you are well enough to travel, then we should start making our way to the Black Mountains. With a
Racist.
nod, Dalamar walked forward. I agree, Janet. We'll just have to travel. What about your... What about you, Link? Yeah. What's up with Link? The griffin inquired. Link nodded in response.
He had a Jerry Seinfeld stroke.
It happens sometimes. If we're already them, we should move out. I returned as I mounted my mare. After Link mounted his stallion, that was actually Starkit, and got situated, we moved out. Making our way out of the canyon, we were hiding and back down the barren rocky path towards the Black Mountains.
How do you hide a canyon?
Ow. Very carefully.
That's a good answer.
Just poured some dirt in it.
All right.
Yeah, that'll work.
So it seems like Zane's about to vomit his guts out, and Tom's about to die.
No, I'm just sleep deprived.
You
What's
sound
up?
like you're on death's door.
Well,
Okay.
allergies suck too, so.
Most of the morning was spent quiet while we ate dried meat and cheese for breakfast. The cheese and meat had gone bad, so they were both covered in mold. I rode behind Link as he followed the path that Dalamar had laid out. The barren trails that we followed soon turned into a vast deselect area.
Deselect.
Can't even remember what word she meant to say, because I
Desolate.
know desolate. Deselect area of rolling hills and dried grass. In the distance appeared the silhouette of the Black Mountains. We came to a stop just atop a small rocky hill, the warm breeze rustling the hair on our heads and elsewhere, and swishing the manes of our horses. This is the home of my people, the Black Mountains. We should reach there by nightfall. Dalamar said as the feathers around his neck ruffled, his tufted ears twitching in anticipation as his eyes rested towards his home. Stop having people remove their eyes from their sockets.
I mean, the dragons were shooting eyes earlier, so maybe it's just common here.
As long as we don't stop the rest, we should hopefully be able to cross the area without any threat of draconians dropping in on us. With a skyward look, my body shuddered at the thought of those blue dragons that I had just earlier killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're ghosts.
sure we hope we don't encounter any more of them, I whispered to myself. Well, I think we should get a move out and make way at a faster pace. Let's say a half gallop. I suggested, my eyes resting towards the tall, dark shadows in the distance.
Okay, if they're Black Mountains, how can you tell the difference between the silhouette and the actual Black Mountains? I mean, if they really are black.
It kind of depends on the lighting. I mean, I highly doubt the mountains
true.
are made out of Vanta Black.
Yeah, that
Hilarious
that'd
as
be
that
weird.
would be.
Yeah. Anyway, do you
They're
think
called
you're
the
both
Black
up to it? I questioned Link and Dalamar as I pulled on the reins, causing my mare to dance in anxiety. Well, that was mean. I agree, Jenna. Being here out in the open, we will be like sitting ducks should any draconians come patrolling the area. I wouldn't I wouldn't even doubt it if they are looking for us now. Dalamar looks skywards, his nostrils flaring as his face filled with concern. Okay, I don't think an eagle's nostrils flare. I think they're just holes in the beak.
As his face filled with cheese.
Okay, I can accept that. It would be wise if we stay at least one step ahead of them, prevent them from ever catching up to us. Link and I just stared at the worried griffin, our horses dancing in anxiety as if they were worried about something. Dalamar, the horses are acting worried. They keep dancing as if they're afraid of something, Link said as he pulled back on the reins, because that's just what was reiterated in the paragraph.
It's a nervous cha-cha slide.
That works. If they're worried about something, Link said as he pulled back on the reins, then patted his stallion on the neck to calm it. Horses can sense dragons from miles away, Dalamar replied, worried. I think we should get moving now. It's too dangerous to remain here any longer.
Yes, that special horse dragon sense. Exclusively
like a Spidey
dragons,
sense,
though. It doesn't work
useful.
with anything else. It's like the Spidey sense,
true.
but exclusively for detecting dragons, not danger.
Yes, so infinitely less useful than Spidey sense.
Unless there's dragons.
Yeah,
Then it's
dragons aren't hard to kill. You just have to have enough missiles.
Alright, my turn now?
Yes.
Yes, no, I didn't hear anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I have really bad internet here, so...
Yes, we
Anyways, I
noticed.
watched as Dalamar started off at a mid-run, his talons digging up into the dry dirt, causing small clouds of dust to rise in his wake. I glanced over at Link and he nodded. With that, I booted my horse in the legs. What an asshole. And behind Link
Don't
about
even...
a half
You
gallop.
can't reach their legs from the saddle.
The dryness of the plains caused my throat to dry out and sand to cake my skin as it kicked up from behind the hooves of Link's horse. But as I pushed onwards, islands of the Black Mountains soon giving way to images of rocky cliffs and small cave openings along the mountains. The black rock of the mountain shimmered against the sunlight as if it shone of 1,000 diamonds. Yeah, the immense beauty caused me to stare in awe because girls only like diamonds.
Oh, right, me. Ow, shit. Alright. At about midday, we reached the base of the Black Mountains. We dismounted and guided our horses towards the main entrance of the mountains where Dalamar waited. As he eyed us over his blue crystal eyes flickered with contentment from finally being home once again. I must see the council elders and tell them of my safe return home. Please follow me. This cave leads to our city just atop the mountain, Dalamar said as he walked inside the cave. The torches lit along the cave walls caused his white feathers to glisten red, like lighting does. Link and I followed, guiding our horses behind us as we made our way up the dim, winding trail that led to the top. Not led, let. After a tiring hike, we finally emerged into a beautiful city. The buildings were made of pearl white stone, the roads paved in a beautiful marble, and the streets bustling with griffins of all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Female griffins walked with their little younglings. You can't call them like cubs, chicks, anything like that.
No,
Pups,
it has to be
whelps.
younglings.
No, younglings. I also want to slice
It
these
has to
things
be.
up with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And also rip
Extra
apart
crispy.
reality right now. As they ran around their clawed feet while they played. Also, how the fuck did the Griffins build this city?
With
Human
magic.
slaves.
With
That's
lively
actually what
griffins
Delamar's bringing
about-
them here for. Human slaves. That's my answer.
Slave
I was
labor.
going to say magic, but I like your idea better.
The market was brimming with lively griffins about their daily wares. Some stood in front of the shops, sweeping the pavement despite their lack of hands, while others walked into taverns for a much-needed drink despite their lack of hands.
You see, they're using their wings to sweep. As for the drinks, well, I don't know about that one.
I think they might need hands.
Yeah. Then my eyes rested upon a tall white tower with a marble roof resting in the center of the city. A flag with the symbol of a griffin on its hind legs with its wings spread flapped in the wind at the top. All I could do was stare in awe at the magnificent tower that loomed in front of me. Then my eyes moved to the snowy white griffin standing next to me. That is the Tower of the Griffin Council 21, also known as the Tower of Elders. The place where the council elders lie, Dalamar quoted.
I wish I were dead.
Okay, then. His eyes transfixed forward. I must go now and see the elders. Jenna, you and Link can wait for me at the inn. I will return shortly, Dalamar said as he turned to leave.
Okay, my friend, we'll be waiting for you at the inn then. See you soon. Link returned as he took my hand and city. Oh god, I better have sex again.
Yes.
We made our way into the marble streets, and among the crowd of lively griffins, my eyes stared transfixed as we walked through the streets. The eyes of passing griffins watched us as we walked by. Their stares of distrust caused me to move up against Link. He looked down into my worried eyes, and he put a confirming arm around me, while our free hands pulled out on the reins of our horses.
Seems like a really inconvenient way to ride a horse.
We don't take kindly to your folk, or your kind around here.
Oh god,
Yeah,
Griffin
rid of all
racist.
Let's see. Pulls around the horses, guiding them back behind us. Then we finally reached the inn. The sign on the front read, "The Griffin's Vineyard." Link went inside to fetch a stable hand to take our horses. Sadly, though, it was only a griffin, and it proceeded to eat said horses. When he came back, he had a big, burly, dark brown griffin with him. His red eyes shone with caution as he walked forth and reared up on his hind legs. Taking the reins of our horses in his talons, he led them into the back of the inn and into the stables before I heard screams of distress from the horses. Then Link and I headed inside. The inn was clean. Its wooden floors were swept and shiny. The innkeeper, a slender tan female griffin, was busy wiping the counter with a damp rag while husky griffins of all different colors sat around the tables drinking in, staring at that hot griffin ass.
The egg curves in all the right places. Somehow. We're not quite sure how. It's really concerning.
I mean, how are they doing all of this? They don't have hands. They're animals.
So I can understand intelligent griffins. What I can't understand is how this works with basic anatomy, because the whole thing with bird feet is that they do not rotate.
Yeah.
So literally, they'd be able to just go straight up and down with their bird hands.
Yeah, well,
it's not about griffins are supposed to be part eagle. They're not part parrot. Parrots are able to manipulate things better because of the way that their toes work.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you just are underestimating their big, meaty claws.
Let me tell you, these claws ain't just for attracting mates.
Or this story is just terrible. I mean, that's also a possibility.
Yes. Okay. All right. Link and I walked up to the innkeeper, her black eyes locking with ours, as it was evident that she was possessed by a demon, meaning that she was on our side. Innkeep, my wife and I would like a hot meal and a room for the night, Link said as he placed 3 red rupees on the counter. So next to nothing.
Sorry, we don't serve with rupees here. We use blorgles.
We use schmeckles.
Our currency is flumps.
like the creature?
Yes.
Okay, you just have Link sighing, and then like the entire out. It's just like a prolonged and long-winded explanation of how currency exchange works.
Sorry, but with 3 rupees, that's basically like you just put down like 3 pennies for a room.
3 red rupees.
Yeah,
that's
so like 3 pennies.
60 rupees.
I thought the red rupees were lower quality.
Nope, they are
mixed up.
Are worth 20 rupees each.
It's the low quality ones.
The green ones are the lowest qualities. They go for 1.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. It's not rubies, it's rupees. So.
I said rupees.
I know. I'm just saying you might be getting confused because it might sound like rubies, and it's not.
No. Either way, okay. So by that assumption, that means that he handed her less than $1.
Probably.
60 cents, about half a dollar. I don't think that's going to get you very far.
Especially not in a different place.
The innkeeper slowly lifted her slender claw and took the rupees into it. She pulled them close to her beaked face and examined them before looking out at us. I'm sorry, sir, but I do not take Monopoly money. I got one room, and it will be stewed pork with potatoes to eat this night. She returned, her hard gaze resting upon us, much like Link's hard dick. Link and I went and sat at the table near the fire, its red glow reflecting off our skin as it warmed us. Oh, an innkeeper, bring us a jug of your best ale. I think we both need a good drink this night, especially my wife, who is currently 6 months pregnant. Link added nonchalantly as he unfastened his scabbard from his back and laid it next to him, his hand resting gently on the hilt.
His wife's contraction starting.
Fighting a dragon had in fact induced an early labor. It was a really bad idea all around.
Yeah, well. Okay, where were we? Okay, there we go. I just sat there and stared into the fire. The flames flickered and danced, causing haunting shapes to form in them. I felt Link's soft stare rest upon mine. Jenna, are you okay? You look troubled. My eyes continued to stare deeply into the fire. Jenna, what's wrong? Jenna? I watched as the flames continued to dance, my eyes transfixed on them, dragging my mind into a state of deep thought, when suddenly I felt a warm hand on my shoulder. Snapping out of my trance, I looked over to see Link staring at me with concern in his deep blue eyes. Huh? Oh, Link, what's wrong? I asked, my eyes locking with his. I was just asking you the same, hun. Okay, apparently he's from Maryland now. You seem lost there.
I don't know, if it was Maryland, it'd be platonic.
Okay. You seemed lost there for a moment. His hand gently rested on top of mine. His soft blue eyes stared deeply into mine. What's troubling you, my love? I
wish I were dead.
Return to staring into the fire. I'm still thinking of last night. When the draconians attacked us. I still remember those wicked yellow eyes and dank. Dank. Oh, their dank breath. Ugh. And
the dragon's had weird breath.
And their twisted laughs. And that devilish black death skull armor they wore.
The skull armor.
Mm-hmm.
Skull.
Just skull bone armor.
Oh, God.
Shivers started to run up my spine as my skin suddenly seemed to turn cold. I never thought in all my days I would ever counting something as evil as them.
Oh
you fought Dark Link!
What? Dark Link's not even that bad compared
to rape you.
Good point. But at the same time, Ganondorf, as they're calling him in this, was like supposed to be the ultimate evil in Hyrule.
Yeah, dragons aren't really all that much compared to him. So
the dude's literally unkillable.
I felt Link's other hand clasp over mine as he held in within his warm palms. Ugh. His fingers clawing around mine. Now I'm worried just how far this might go. Those dark bastards have harassed the powers of the dragon. Blah blah. That much power, they just might be a worse threat than Ganondorf ever was. Blah blah blah. Bullshit, I say. As soon as we're done here, my eyes move back to Link's. We must make haste back to Hyrule and inform Princess Zelda of what we found. Blah blah.
Absolute jack shit.
As I felt the cold shivers run up my spine. Why not just send a flying griffin with a note?
Yeah, and griffins are supposed to be able to rival dragons in power.
Yeah.
I agree, love, Link said as a young cream-colored female griffin decked in dazzling jewelry came walking over to her table on her hind legs, which looked really fucking goofy. I'm just... because the whole thing is they have, the back half of a lion. So I'm just imagining, like someone's house cat just walking towards them on its back legs.
That'd be funny. Like those cats that'll just stand on two legs for no reason.
But it's walking. carrying a tray with mugs in her slender talons. But we've been through so much in the last day. I think we should leave in the morning after we've both had a good night's sleep. Link and I watched as the young griffin plopped down 2 mugs on the table, then a large clay pot. The female griffin smiled, then turned and walked away, not really thinking much about the fact that she just gave an entire mug of ale to a 6-month pregnant woman. Popping the cork, Link inhaled the fumes and passed out because it was in fact chloroform with a gusty sigh of contentment, his mouth watering in anticipation. Ah, that's prime, Link said with satisfaction. Give me your mug, dear, as he poured himself a mug of 22 Griffin Spice. This stuff will warm your chilled bones. So much reckless endangerment.
Yeah.
God damn it, fisting. God damn it.
Lifting the mug up to his lips, Link took a long pull of the Griffin Spice. I just realized that's the name of it. I've been doing other things, but like, it's hitting me. Okay.
Then
thump the mug
about fisting robot girls, so
yeah, it's much more interesting than this.
yes.
Then thump the mug back down on the table. Ah, that's invigorating, he said smugly as he slid my mug back to me. Drink up, my love. It will help you. No. That's a bad idea. No.
6 months pregnant. 6 months pregnant. Terrible idea. Why are you only pregnant whenever you need to be?
Ugh. Yeah, no, that's no.
The
just
child is going to come out malformed. It's all your fault.
This is the curse for not feeding the firstborn to the great Deku tree.
Reckless endangerment?
Yes, of every child until they feed him.
Where was it? Okay. I peered into the mug before lifting it to my lips and drinking the concoction that was within it. Lowering the mug back to the table, I smiled at Link. You were right, love. This stuff is great, I said pleasantly. We just sat there. The end. And reveled in the Griffin Spice, drinking the entire jug, then calling for seconds. That is... Oh, no.
I bet she forgot she was pregnant.
Yes.
Soon after, we were falling slouched in our chairs. The ale had gone to our heads. Link, I think it's time to go to bed, I said in a slurred tone. Nodding, his eyes blurry, he got up, staggered over to the innkeeper, and pounded his fist on the counter. Innkeep, my wife and I will go to our rooms now, Link slurred loudly. I see that you've had too much to drink. I will have Tara show you to your room. The Griffin added, a slight grin upon her beaked face. Because apparently it was
about them fucking.
No, I think it was drugged, and they're just slowly
you know
feeling.
What the secret ingredient to Griffin Spice is?
Chloroform.
Griffin sweat.
Oh god.
And cyanide.
I thought it was gonna be Griffin roofies.
It's just Griffin roofie. Oh boy.
They just powderized Griffin roofies and just diluted it.
Like how you have a horse tranquilizer and you just like stick it into a human. It's like that since Griffins are, bigger.
Massive.
So they're like super drugged up right now.
Just pass out on the stairs.
And keep my wife and I will go to our rooms. Wham! Just right there.
Takes out some of the chairs. Why would there be chairs actually? What were they sitting on?
Sheer force of will.
Pure energy.
What's her face? Jenna, I guess, used her earth powers to just make stone seats.
Or they were just sitting on cushions of air.
Yeah. After a minute, the cream-colored griffin we saw earlier emerged from the kitchen, a soft smile upon her beaked face as she watched our roofied bodies fall to the ground.
For a mistrustful race, they're awfully friendly to Link and Jenna.
They're only mistrustful in that people say they're mistrustful. Done nothing so far that is mistrustful.
Come, I will show you to your room.
God.
she said as she turned and started heading upstairs. We both staggered a bit behind her. Blurred images of floating objects appeared before me as we ascended the stairs. We followed the griffin down a dimly lit hallway and stopped at the end of the front of a door. With her talent, she
This
produced a small key and unlocked the door, opening it. Wait, this isn't a room. This is a dungeon, Link realized.
I was about to make a joke. Wait, why does the hotel room door have prison bars? That's a bit weird.
Well, here it is. I hope you both sleep well, Tar said smugly as she turned and walked away, locking us in our drugged up dungeon.
She's thinking about them fucking. Leaning against Link, we both stumbled into the room, slamming the door shut behind us. The bars too narrow for us to fit back through. I unbuckled my chakrams and tossed them to the floor as I plopped down onto the feather bed. What? Looking blearily up at Link, I traced my fingertips across the next empty spot next to us. Come to bed, love. Lie down with me. I slurred seductively, taking his sword out of his pants and throwing it on the table. I don't know why. Just combining things like that just made a really weird image.
Yeah, well.
Oh, God. He slinked into the bed next to me and pulled the sheet up over us. I went into his warm, muscular arms and laid my head against his chest, my fingers tracing meaningless patterns over his stomach. It turns out I had been etching the words to the that were supposed to be within the Necronomicon Ex Mortis and had just summoned Deadites. I listened to the beating of his heart as his gentle, broad hand stroked my hair, his massive yowie hands utterly terrifying in the moonlight. Images of blissful memories filled my mind as I closed my eyes and drifted into another world, a world of unicorns and small creatures who lifted me up and ran away with me.
What?
Griffin Spice is a hell of a drug.
Ugh, okay. When I awoke the next morning, my head felt like I had been hit with a heavy piece of wood.
It was me.
Uh,
I decided to beat you to death with the handle instead of the shovel blade.
that would be funny to watch. Painfully, I lifted my head up and saw Link already up and dressing. Struggling to get up, I managed to sit up on the side of the bed, my head swimming with the after effects of the Griffin Spice. Then I heard a voice. "Oh, Jenna, you're awake. Are you okay, love?" After a minute, I could tell that the voice was Link's. "Yeah, I think so, but my head hurts and my muscles ache," I said with a groan as swells of nausea welled up in my stomach. I heard a creak of wood as Link sat down next to me. Putting his arm around me, I felt his eyes upon my face. "You sure don't hold your ale well, love. I guess you never drank as much as me," Link added, his lips brushing my cheek.
She's pregnant!
A man walks into a bar. His alcoholism is tearing this family apart.
I'm about to tear this world apart. Oh, God.
Oh shit, it's my turn, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh. I can't even
Who is
tell who's
speaking?
speaking. Is it her?
I think
Is
it's
it
him.
Link?
I think it's Link.
Do you think you'd be well enough to travel? Ugh. Oh, no.
Number 15.
Moving my head slightly, I look to the side into his loving eyes. I think so, but maybe I should eat you out first. We would have to see Dalamar before we depart.
Oh boy,
I said,
she's
holding
gonna
my
give
head.
him a rim job.
Agreed! Get dressed, love, and then come downstairs! Link says he got up and buckled his sword on his back. Grabbing his money pouch off the table, he tied it to his belt and headed towards the door. He was totally going to go to the Griffin Strip Club.
Oh yeah.
I will meet you downstairs, love, Link says he opened the door. Make sure you don't forget your weapon. Oh, no, that's him. Make sure you don't forget your weapons, he added as he walked away, closing the door behind him.
Was he squeezing out of shit?
Probably.
I guess.
I staggered out of bed, the warm rays. Wait. Okay. I staggered out of bed. The warm rays of the sun filled into the room. Lightning across the walls caused the stone marble to glimmer with envy. The fuck does that mean? I fumbled over to the table and rustled through my saddlebags, pulling out a dark blue dress embroidered with Hyrule's symbol across the breast, even though that's heresy. I took off my ragged, torn, tainted pink dress and threw it into the bags. Then I took the clean, silky dress I took out previously and put it on. I smoothed out the crinkles in the dress that was just in a bag, so it's probably pretty fucking wrinkly. Then sat down on the side of the bed. I laced up my riding boots, then strapped my chakrams around my waist like hula hoops. Grabbing my blue velvet cloak, I threw it over my shoulder, then tossed my saddlebags over my back and headed downstairs.
I fell down the stairs and the chakram sliced me in half. I died. The end.
Would the inside be sharp? I'm just imagining the chakrams getting stuck in the wood of the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she's just stuck there laying on her stomach, like laying down.
Yeah. The common room was empty. The innkeeper was sitting behind the bar, cleaning out mugs with a damp rag. She eyed me as I came into the room. "Did you sleep well, my lady?" the griffin asked, the jewelry giggling on her tufted ears as she spoke.
That's not weird.
I suppose they meant jiggling, but I don't know.
Like jingling?
Yeah, like moving back and forth, bobbing or whatever, but I don't know. I looked over at her, my eyes locking. "Yes, ma'am, I did. Thank you," I returned. "If you're looking for your husband, milady, he's out back in the stables with Scan," she said, her expression softening. "Thank you, ma'am," I said as I headed towards the stables. Okay, did that seem super passive-aggressive to anyone else?
Like
Honestly,
I
I've been reading
said,
this
he
entire
brought his
thing
money so he
passive.
could hire a stripper griffin, and it was her. Link
That's-
just had sex with that lady, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, this person's." You
Link
know.
just fucked a griffin.
Would not surprise me at this point.
Link was at the stables brushing Midnight Star. Or Star, as I like to call him. Smoothing out the horse's ragged mane with her hard bristle brush. I walked up behind him and threw my arms around him. He turned to face his beautiful wife. "Ah, Jenna, you finally came down! Great, my love,
She
I have
calls herself
wonderful
beautiful.
news! A messenger from the tower came with a letter from Delamar. He says that the Griffin Council wishes to speak with us this afternoon," Link says. He put the brush down. My eyes widened in pure shock. "You mean the Griffin Elders want to see us?"
Hey.
Holy shit! It's unbelievable! I screamed with excitement. "So when do we leave?"
That was true.
One in my house just heard me scream that.
As soon as they send someone for us, returned Link as he picked up the brush and resumed brushing his horse. It's still early morning, so relax, love. Why don't you go to the market and walk around for a while? Well, I hate waiting, I said as I turned to walk out. But I have been wanting to go to the market to buy some herbs. Not she wants to stand next to herbs? I will be back in a few hours then, my love. Maybe I will find some good silk to buy. Jenna! Link reached into a pocket at his waist. Take these! He then placed 2 blue rupees into my hand. Buy yourself something good. Looking down at the rupees, I clasped my hand around them as I shoved them into my pouch. Thank you, Link. Okay, love. I will be back soon, I said as I turned and walked out.
The streets were bustling with all sorts of griffins about their daily wares. The eyes of many
Yeah, I
different ones
wonder.
watched me wearily. Wearily? What did
Barely?
It's supposed to be warily, but she wrote it as wearily as I passed by. Mostly just either walked the other way or moved aside. I felt a little out of place as I knew all too well that the griffins didn't trust just anyone. especially humans. But they trusted me because I'm the main character and I'm all that matters. But things started to change for the better as some of the griffins started to notice my expensive clothes and the emblem I wore on the front of my dress. See? What did I tell you? Oh, by the goddesses, she's from Hyrule. What's someone from Hyrule doing here? I heard she came here with High Lord Dalamar.
High Lord Dalamar! With the New York accent.
And someone said that Link was Link, the legendary hero of time, was accompanying them. But even if they did, they're humans.
Jesus.
And why have humans come into our city? Link's an elf, thank you very much. For some of the whispers and ushered words.
He's a Hylian.
Yeah, he's an
They're
elf.
Not elves, they're not humans, they're just people with pointy ears.
They've got knife ears, they're elves.
It's not how elves work, fucknut.
Well, they look the same, so they are the same.
Racist. That was racist.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going for.
You and your disturbing hate boner for elves.
Yeah,
Seriously,
no, even I'm
get
disturbed
over
by
it.
that.
It's kind of sad. It's very sad. It's not even it's just extremely sad.
I don't know what the deal is. It's just...
Did your high school crush leave you for an elf?
No.
Because that's what it's sounding like.
Well, that might be possible. I'll have to examine my memories a little closer. For some of the whispers and ushered words I heard as I entered the market. Okay.
Dang. Okay. All right, okay.
But I just mainly pushed aside the exasperated spoken words of the griffin in the street and made my way into the lively marketplace. As I browsed around, I spotted a few good silk shops and decided to have a look. The inner merchant in me that was never mentioned coming out. Some of the silks that the griffins had were ones that I had never seen before. I stood in utter disbelief at some of the elaborate skills that laid right before me. Then I walked into one shop and saw the most beautiful silk ever I had ever seen in my life. The way it shimmered in the sun made it look like it was interwoven with 1,000 diamonds. I could tell that it was real expensive. As I held the soft and silk in my delicate hands, the shopkeeper eyed me curiously. He was a lean, muscular, light brown griffin with thick, colorful jewelry around his neck and ears. His soft green eyes landed upon the silk I held in my hands. "Oh, so lass, you like that one?" he asked thoughtfully. A smile happened across his beaked face. Yes, I do. I have never seen silk as beautiful as this before, I replied as I caressed it in my arms, the thoughts of making it into a condom for Link.
Honestly, I thought she was just gonna recreate the steak scene from Pink Flamingos, but with a roll of silk. She's just going to steal the silk by stuffing it up her vagina. That is what is going to happen.
Well, it would certainly be an interesting development.
That's probably because that type of silk is very rare. You can only find this kind of silk in one place, across the 22 Barren Sea, the griffin said as he placed a clawed hand upon the counter. The jewelry in his thick tufted ears made a clinking sound as he lowered his head closer to mine for a moment, his sharp beak just inches from my face. And then he ate my face. I stared back at him blankly. "Across the Barren Sea?" I retorted, eyes wide. I thought nobody had ever been able to cross the Barren Sea and return alive. I made sure of it. At that, I nearly dropped the silk from my hands. "Calm down, lass, but you heard it wrong. I have been across the Barren Sea and am here to tell about it. By the way, lass, the name's Tanis." "No one cares, Tanis."
Certainly not Jenna, that's for sure. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Someone had actually been across the infamous Barren Sea and lived to tell about it. Yeah,
funny how we've yet to hear about that thing.
Yeah, seriously. Preposterous. How could anyone, let alone a griffin? Okay, now that was racist.
Oh god, she's being just as magical racist as Tom is.
Cross the Barren Sea when it's more dangerous than crossing the Black Desert.
Sounds like a fantasy world Nazi, so that's pretty bad.
Stories told of a monstrous sea beast that would attack seafaring ships and sink them, leaving its crew to drift along the sea and be swallowed up by the torrential storms, malevolent tidal waves, or deadly whirlpools. Why have we not heard of this up until now? Like, that sounds like a pretty dang big part of the world, at least horror stories wise or something. I don't know. I still didn't believe how anyone could cross that ocean without a death wish upon their heads. But I looked back at Tanis with a look of questioning upon my face.
Wait, just how did you cross the barren sea without getting sunk by a sea beast or one of those dangerous storms?
Oh god, she's gonna
I
fuck
said
the
as I-
information out of him.
As I eyed him quizzically, he just smiled and winked. I was not amused by this and stabbed him. That's my secret, lass. If I told you, well, then everyone would have the silk and many other things. But forget about that. I'll tell you since you look like the silk so much, lass. And that I know it would look beautiful on you. Tannis
I think
rested
I
his
can
hand
now
on
read
his clawed
cancer as
hand.
a language.
I'll give you a discount price on that. Let's say 20 billion rupees. Agreed? Tannis looked at me with eager anticipation. Bly reached into my pouch and pulled out 2 or 3 blue rupees that Link gave me earlier. Dealio, I said as I handed Tannis the rupees. Tannis took the rupees into his talons and frowned. Again, this wasn't the currency of the nation. I would have to go back to the bank and transform it into the local currency.
So how
Oh
much
my
is a
God.
blue rupee?
I think
Typically
it's like 50.
50.
No, the red rupee is 50. The blue rupee is 20.
You just said the red rupee was 10.
Tannis took the rupees in his
Going
talons,
earlier.
bit them to verify their authenticality like it was a coin, putting them away. Thank you, lass. Tannis said as he handed me the beautiful silk to me. I hope you enjoy it. You made a good choice. He laughed as he just screwed me over.
Alright, I'm checking it now. A blue is worth 5, yellow is 10, red is 20, purple is 50. Okay, so I guess she undercut
Yeah.
him. She only paid 10. He asked for 20.
Huh. I guess that's a discount price. Because she's the main character.
Discount was 20. She gave him 10.
Yep.
Thank you too, Tanis, you dumb shit. I said as I turned to leave. Oh, and one more thing, lass. Be careful in the streets. You know us griffins are not the trusting type, unlike me. Just be careful anyway. We've yet to see a single one be untrusting.
Because racism?
Tanis, yeah, you know, like Tom and elves.
Those knife-eared fuckers are gonna get what's coming to them. I'll tell you that
Apparently
much.
Tom is in fact half dwarf because of the fact that he hates elves.
No, I'm 100% human.
Okay, so he's just magic Nazi.
Probably.
Okay. His emerald green eyes resting upon mine because everyone keeps popping their eyes out of their socket. Thank you, you dumb shit. I said flatly as I started to walk out. Good day, lass. Take care. Returned the griffin as I disappeared into the streets. Through the streets. Underground. I walked around the market aimlessly for a while before stopping at a few other shops and bought more healing herbs, then noted the time and decided to head back to the Griffin's vineyard.
The Griffin's vineyard stood shimmering against the midday sun. Its marble roof sparkled with a gold tinge as the sun's rays hit it just right. Its windows shone like crystal as the low beams of the golden orange rays washed through them, causing shadows to dance along the window pane. Okay, I'm sure you were trying to write beautifully, but you failed miserably. As I stepped inside, I noted the fully bustling common room with burly griffins of all colors talking in meaningless dribble as they drown their woes in their ale. Then the innkeeper quickly noticed me and eyed me in a way to tell me to come over. This writing just keeps getting worse. Milady, your husband has been looking for you. He said for me to tell you as soon as you came back to meet him out back by the stables. He also said it was important that you did so hastily. Walking up to hers, I cracked a small smile. Thank you, ma'am. I will go there quickly now.
With haste, I went to the back of the stables and found Link straddling his stallion. When he noticed me, he called me over to him. Where have you been, Jenna? We're going to be late for our meeting with the Griffin Council, Link said urgently before he suddenly beat me. As he walked over to me and placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. Ugh. Sorry, my love. I got caught up trying to buy some silk. I watched as Link's gaze shifted to the silk in my hand. Oh my gosh. I actually feel like I'm gonna. Let me see that, Jenna, Link says. I hand him this eyes wide. This is very beautiful, honey. Where'd you get it? I found it at a shop. I got it at a real price. Only 20 rupees, I replied.
I only paid 10.
Oh, goddess's love, you must have gotten a deal. Usually silks cost more than that, special silk of this type. But anyway, did you give him a gentle handy too for it? When we get home, we'll have to have a dress made out of it for you. That type matches your skin, and I know I will look beautiful on you, Link said as a bored grin, his eyes twinkling as I lost my desire to speak this voice.
I'm losing my desire to live.
Aren't we all?
Okay.
Why are we here just to suffer?
I mean, there is no point behind life anyway, so whatever. I went into his arms and slowly placed my lips close to his. Shit, who's speaking? Okay. I know what you were thinking, my love. It shows in your eyes, but regretfully, it will have to wait until we return home, I said softly at his lips, then inclined to them, tasting the spices still left on them from the ale he drank about 5 minutes ago. Link had become an alcoholic. Then Link's look of desire changed into a serious one. Dear wife, we must now make our way to the tower and see the Griffin Council. We cannot be rude by being late, because we fucked again. I pulled out of his gentle embrace and walked over to my mare. Taking the silk, I gently placed it on my into my saddlebags. Then saddled my horse for riding, as opposed to saddling my horse for poker. After both horses were saddled, we mounted and ready to leave for the Tower of the Elders.
Okay. With one last glance at the other, I found Link out of the stables to the marble road. We made our way down roads of twists and turns, weaving in and around the griffins in the streets. Younglings played in the streets, chasing each other as they played various children's games, while young females pulled carts filled with flowers or vegetables. The marble-paved streets glistened under the sun's rays, while our horses' hooves made a clicking sound on them as we rode.
Zane?
Sorry. I don't know what's going on.
You ever?
I think I'm dying right now. We were greeted by the glances and hard stares as we neared the tower. Some even whispered slurs of exasperated comments to why there were humans in their city. But we continued on the road up to the tower's front gate. The Griffin guards holding spears in their talons, exchanging surprised glances before their skeptical stares rested upon us. What is this, the South?
Yes. That's why Tom's there. You okay there, Zane?
What?
You okay there?
Are you? What?
Oh, wait, no, that would be Line now. Whoops.
Yep.
Elamar, sir, the guard stated. Yes, you heard me. Wait, did I? Oh, nope, I skipped an entire paragraph. What business do you have at the Tower of Elders, humans? One of the guards said, slurred. Oh, Jesus. We're here to see Lord Dalamar. He has sent word the Griffin Council wishes to speak with us, Link said calmly. The two guards exchanged glances, their expressions growing even more skeptical. What would the High Lord of the Griffin Council want to do with a human? The guard retorted again in a slurred voice. Link pushed his horse closer, causing the guards to put their spears in an X crossing the gate. You'd think they could just use their talons. We looked at them irritably. He looked at them irritably, his patience growing thin. Look, just send for Lord Dalamar, and he will tell you himself. Link scowled, his hands tightening on the reins. One of the Griffin guards took a spear and placed the tip just inches from Link's chest. I don't know what type of devious plot you're playing here, human, but if you two don't get lost... The guard was cut off by a loud booming voice. Oh, hey, we have a mistrusting Griffin now, but it's his job to be mistrusting because he is a guard.
Mm-hmm. The more I think about it, the more I think the racists just don't like the Griffins. What the hell do you two think you're doing? Dalamar yelled as he appeared in the courtyard just beyond the gates. Lord Dalamar, sir, the guards turned shocked and saluted. We didn't know you were there. By the fires of hell, you didn't know I was there because you're goofing off. That's why, Dalamar said angrily. Now why haven't you allowed my guests in?
Because it's their job to be skeptical.
Yeah, they were doing their jobs. Don't get mad at them for it.
Dick for dick.
All right. Dalamar, sir. The guard started. Yes, you heard me, right? Dalamar walked closer to the guards until he was practically breathing on them. It was pretty hot. Open those damned gates and allow them in. No! Dalamar snapped, his eyes glimmering with anger. Yes, sir, the guard said as he fumbled to get the gates open. Pulling the immense brass gates aside, Link and I rode past them and joined Dalamar on the other side. Sorry, my friends, for all... no, we need some commas here. Ugh. Sorry, my friends, for all of that. I didn't mean... Link cut him off abruptly. No worry, my friend. We're just glad that you came along. Dalamar scuffed a laugh. Well, those guards are just young and naive. Getting good help in the armed services is not...
They were literally doing their fucking job, dickhole.
It's not easy these days. But anyway, my friends... I will have the stable hands take your horses to the... Griffins need stables.
Because apparently Griffins can ride horses.
That just brought to mind a really weird image.
Well, if the Link theory is still true and he's riding Star or Star Kid or whatever,
Yes.
maybe they're all just cat-sized and they're just like a bunch of cats. Yeah, okay, but anyways, my friends, we must make haste the council which to rival each other
Oh my God.
Dalamar inside the tower. The inside of the tower was beautiful. The walls were ivory white trimmed in gold. Wool banners with intricate designs and patterns hung from the walls by gold cords, while shimmering crystal chandeliers hung from the ceilings. As with everywhere else, the floors were made of marble, while beautiful silk and wool furnishings sat upon it. A thick red wool carpet lined the floor, running all the way to a set of gigantic golden doors. Dalamar stopped just short of the doors and turned to face us. Beyond these doors lies the Griffin Council. I will go tell them of your arrival. Dalamar says he turned to the other two guards standing in front of them and nodded to them. The massive gold doors opened with a loud creak and Dalamar disappeared behind them. The door slowly closed behind him, leaving us to wait outside.
Why do Griffins have human doors? Their bodies aren't shaped... What?
Just go with it, man. This story just keeps making less and less sense.
You can't twist doorknobs.
Or they just do the Kool-Aid man and they don't have doors, just walls, and they just break down like nothing else.
I'm gonna fucking break you down in a second. I just paced
man,
outside the massive golden doors for what seemed like an eternity, and my eyes just darted from the doors to Link and vice versa. Door, Link, dick, door, dick, Link, door, dick, dick, door. Link just watched as I started to wear a hole in the floor.
This hole is very fashionable. I'm going to wear it.
Jenna, you know that doesn't look good on you. You know that all that pacing is not going to get them to see us any faster, Link said flatly. his eyes following me. I know, I'm just anxious, you useless sack of shit. And I hate all this damned waiting. Fuck breath. I returned annoyed and continued my pace. Sigh! Come on, Jenna. Will you relax and save your energy? You're starting to make me dizzy watching you. Is she walking in a circle around him?
Yes, just because it's entertaining.
Link said as he shifted himself where he was standing. Reluctantly, I walked over to where Link was standing and sat down near his feet. I wonder what they could be doing in there for them to be taking so long to see us. You know, it's not like they're holding some form of council meeting or some shit. I said grimly as I traced patterns along the floor with my finger. I'm not sure, love, but I think they will not leave us out here forever. That was the last we ever heard of our heroes. Good night, everybody. Just then I heard a creaking sound and our heads jerked off. Up.
What?
Oh my.
The massive golden doors opened and a young male griffin stepped out from behind them. The Council of Elders will see you now, he said as he gestured for us to follow him. I got up and followed Link past the two guards and inside the council chamber. The inside was dimly lit by torchlight. Beautiful banners hung from the walls. Expensive gold-trimmed wooden tables lined them, while various vases and porcelain plates sat upon their polished surfaces. Then my eyes traced forward to the 5 pedestals where 5 heavily carved oaken chairs sat with 5 cloaked figures among them. Link and I walked closer and then knelt down before them. I remembered that it was always customary when in the presence of high authority to place your hand on the hilt of your weapon. I watched as Link solemnly placed his left hand on the hilt of his sword, then lowered his head. Mimicking him, I placed my right hand on my chakrams, then lowered my head as well.
Then the
We
griffins
sat in that
decapitated
position
us.
for a moment, but only just a moment. Then a soft, elderly female voice spoke out. Link, the hero of time, and Jenna Silverblade the 23rd. Please rise and come forth. Rising slowly, I got to my feet and moved. I'm still gonna keep talking because, you know, they didn't actually end it in parentheses. Closer to the ivory pedestals, and the 5 figures moved out of the darkness and revealed themselves. I noted that 4 of the 5 were elderly griffins with gray fur and feathers, and 2 of them were female. And one on the left sat Dalamar. The griffin that sat in the center looked to be at least 100-year-old female, decked heavily in jewelry encrusted with emeralds and rubies around her neck. The brightly colored earrings hung from her feather-tufted ears. The gray feathers around her neck laid flatly soft against her body, while her wrinkled, clawed hands, rested on the arms of her oak chair. Her eyes wore heavy wrinkles around them as her... the beaks looked like gotten worn over the ears.
Old people have wrinkles, Zane. I think you know this.
But wrinkled claw hands.
So wrinkled
Not
bird
wrinkled
most-
bird claws, claw hands.
Most claw hands on birds are wrinkled.
They're scaled, but her dull,
Shut up.
dead eyes scrutinized us. Her worn, dead beak slightly gaped open as she began to speak in a language of the dead. Link and Jenna Silverblade, are ye the ones that Lord Dalamar claims to have saved him and saw him home safely? Moving forward slightly, Link bowed his head and answered, Yes, milady. We are the ones Lord Dalamar speaks of. Now how about a kiss? Link returned formally, his head still bowed. You know Link Silverblade. Excuse me? Need a minute. What?
This is funny, and I thought I was going to be the one to break first.
Did they... what? What? We Griffins have never trusted anyone, yet we call our gods, whose job is to be untrustworthy, foolish, and naive when they don't trust strangers. Ever since the Great War hundreds of years ago, when the humans enslaved us, the fucking Nazis, and forced us to do their bidding, our faith in the humans has never been the same. But you have proven different. You and your wife, Jenna Silverblade, have risked your lives to travel through the lands of Arrakis. That Arrakis now controls to safely bring one of our people home. Not too many humans would go to this great lengths to save one of us, but you and your wife have proven that not all humans are bad. The elderly griffin leaned forward in her chair. Why was the griffin sitting in chair?
Because can.
However, because of that distrust among our people, we cannot allow both of you to stay here alive much longer. Fuck! I gave away the surprise.
Her tufted ears flattened against her head, her gaze softening. I wish that it didn't have to come to this. Delamar has informed us that you even risked your lives to save him when you were ambushed by a set of draconians. She tilted her head solemnly. But it's that word has spread among our people that there's humans in the city, and many are not happy. Some are even rebelling against your presence here. We cannot have an uproar now, even when we need our people to be strong in light of this raging war against our Arrakis. So I will have to ask you and your wife to please leave in the morning. Again, I wish that it didn't have to come to this, but maybe one day with the knowledge that there are humans like you, then maybe all of us will learn to trust again. But the time isn't now. However, the Griffin Elder looked over to the elderly male Griffin at her right and took something from his clawed hand. Should you ever need one of us in a time of need... The elder rose to her feet, standing on her hind legs, and walked down the steps in front of Link. We will always come to your aid should you ever call. She outstretched her clawed hand and handed Link a small crystal pendant with a griffin emblem on top of it.
This crystal is called a 24 mind glyph. Those are symbolic to our people, but I want you to have it. Should you ever need us, all you have to do is focus your thoughts in crystal and think of us. All of us here on the council are connected to it telepathically. Just open up your heart and we will answer. She raised the clawed hand and rested it on Link's shoulder. Her soft
Ripped off his arm
into his. We know all about your great exploits, Link Silverblade, also known as the hero of time. How you saved your entire homeland from a deadly evil threat, restoring peace and prosperity to all that once was. Who are you again? Where am I?
Cranberries.
Cranberries?
Raisins!
Knowledge of the great heroics and all know the city, even teachings of your great deeds is taught to our... I need to
Stop dying.
But her gaze suddenly hardened, much like Link's dick, and her clawed hand moved up to her side, causing the jewelry on her tufted eels to jingle as it moved. Even in the light of such bravery, the presence of humans in our city is causing uneasiness among our people. You must be publicly executed to appease them. Link bowed his head again, his eyes along the floor. I understand, High Priestess Ahada. We will leave under your orders in the morning. There is not need for explanations. We have always known that the Griffins were not trusting since the time of the Great War. We're sorry that our presence here has been unwanted. Link returned, apologetic. Alana put her clawed hand directly under Link's chin and then pierced the area under his jawbone, spearing his tongue in the process, before removing his jaw in its entirety. Her talon resting softly against his skin as she slowly lifted his head, impaling his skull up until their eyes met. Young warrior, there is no need for apologies. You came here under the pretense of returning one of our own safely, and for that there is no need for you to be sorry about your presence here.
The elder slowly turned and returned to her seat on the council. When the day comes that our people can learn to trust again, we would be honored if you and your wife would return here to our great city. But until then, Link knelt down and put his left hand on the hilt of his sword. There is no need for explanations. There is no need for explanations, High Priestess Alana. We will respect your wishes. Link just sat there. Yep, that's it. Alhana's gaze shifting from him to me, then back to him again. Rise again, young hero, Alhana said as her gaze softened once more. Link rose again and their eyes locked. Always remember of what was spoken here today and keep that mind glyph close to your heart, for we are forever in debt to you, Link Silverblade. Wait, what?
You just now realized.
Well, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention in all honesty.
You haven't.
I will have High Lord Dalamar show you to the gate. Take care,
King
Link and Jenna
Magic Racist.
Silverblade. What? May the goddesses watch over you, Alhana said as Dalamar rose from his chair on the council and came down beside us.
Follow me, my friends. I will have your horse to the front. Dalamar said as he walked towards the massive doors, then out. We followed Dalamar to the front gates where our horses were saddled and waiting for us. Then a griffin flew by and ate one. Link and I mounted our horses and turned to face Dalamar one last time. I want you to thank you again, my friends, for accompanying me on my journey safely. Dalamar said appreciably.
Appreciably.
Yeah, that's an actual word.
His crystal blue eyes glistening under the sunlight. No need for that. It's all in a hero's line of. I swear by that very code to help those in need. I strongly adhere to that code. Link said solemnly. It is adhere. It is a pleasure accompanying you here. My wife and I had always wanted to see the magnificent. Dalamar laughed huskily. Well, my friends, what's up with that? Well, I'm sure glad you did join. Might have ended up as a roasted griffin meat to the Draconians.
Link's gaze suddenly hardened, much like his dick again. Do you think that Acarius is planning an attack against your people? Link said darkly. Dalamar's face faltered, the tuft's ears resting flatly against his head. I cannot be too sure, but the council is going to prepare in case we have to go to war. We're already preparing the troops for heavy combat and up in security along our borders. I'd say we're safe for now. Dalamar returned flatly, his expression darkening. Well, we wish you all the best. Should you ever need us, you know where to find us. Smell you later, Link said as he turned his stallion toward the gates.
Thank you again, my friends. And may the goddesses see your safe return back to Hyrule, Dalamar said as he gestured for the guards at the gates to open it. A clank sound filled the air as the heavy brass gate slid open, allowing us to pass. With one look back, we waved one last time back at our newfound friend before departing into the marble streets. Link and I remained quiet for a short time, listening to the clicking sound of the horses' hooves on the marble roads as we rode. Then finally, it was I who broke the silence. Link, I started.
I farted.
He responded. Do you think we should start heading back to Hyrule now instead of tomorrow? I mean, I think the sooner we get back, the better, I returned fervently, my hands twitching nervously on the reins. Link looked over at me with eagerness in his eyes.
I was just thinking the same thing, my love. We need to hurry back with the princess. Seldom.
Oh my god.
Return, growing worry.
Oh my god.
Are we heading out now? I questioned. Yes!
Zane reached
yes, we are!
Zane, you reached maximum audio drop during that entire thing.
Yep, you're gonna have to read it again.
Your signal dropped out 5 times in 1 second there.
Yep, it sounded like a bad satellite feed or stream feed.
Anyway, we're gonna leave that here.
I was just thinking the same thing, my love. We need to hurry back with the information we possess. Zelda must be captured on our way here. Link returned with growing worry. I agree. So, are we heading out now? I questioned. Yes! Yes, we are! I think we should get back before anything else happens!
Uh,
I'm Llytic.
I'm Tom. Kill me, please.
Oh, you don't
I'm
have
also
to.
Tom. Kill me, please.
And we'll see
Instead
you
of him.
next time. Bye.